What's up, guys? So, a little bit different. Not really necessarily doing a review, but I am doing an unboxing showcase. And this, of course, is based off of the Todd McFarlane DC Multiverse, the Batman Last Night on Earth wave. Sorry, I don't know why I keep looking over here when I should be looking over there. But I did finish this whole set thanks to Arthur from Unboxing Art, as well as from Ryan Laserpants81 on the Infinity Equation. So we have all four figures that we're going to open up. Now, if you've never opened up McFarlane figures, they have a lot of these ties on here that you have to cut open. So I'm going to try to just get through that real quick and then just transition over to looking at the figures, and then let's build this Bane figure. And I'm going to have a heater or a hot water to, loosen up the Bane figure parts so that way they can attach much more easily. So let's go ahead and deal with that as well. But let's get these open. Hopefully this should be an easy process. Figure, card. I don't take these out. I leave them right there because I keep my boxes. Good Lord. There's Omega. Alright, Wonder Woman. So heavy. Alright, I don't even. Jeez. They're just so stuck in here. Whoa. That wasn't too bad, but there's Wonder Woman. God forbid if she stands by herself. No, of course not. Nope. And Scarecrow. And here's Scarecrow, which I'll just lay him down there for right now. He does come with a stand, but I'm going to leave all that in there because he's going to hang on to Bane anyway. Okay, so let's build Bane. Should, hopefully, God forbid, it's going to be difficult because we hear the horror stories about his legs. I mean, this is what's going to bother me the most because you have, unfortunately, he likes to hide this thigh cut up here. And so that's going to be so hard to just push these legs right on in because the trim of the pants is just going to get in the way. And yeah, that's going to be real tough. Real tough. Because right now I am experiencing the same thing that Matt experienced. Tech Chucker. So let's see if I can just heat this up and try to get these legs on there real quick. So I heated it up, but what the worst part is that this leg, I mean, the knees are so hard. And if you guys know, like McFarlane, it's, the plastic is real stiff. But look what happened here. So it looks like the joint in for the pin just pushes that. See that? That sucks. So now that's like a lift right there on the plastic, which is probably going to pop his thigh right out. So that's going to suck really bad. Now, this got on pretty easily once I got the trim of the pants out of the way. So this does pop in much nicer, especially when it's heated up. But unfortunately, it's, you know, it is what it is. You can't help it. When it cools down, I'm sure it's going to really be stuck on there. But we will see how it goes as I, you know, maneuver this around, because me bending his knees is such a pain. Look at that. That's hard to do. It can't be helped. I understand that this is, you know, how McFarlane, well, whatever material this is in regards to this plastic. So it is what it is. So now that I got his legs on, let's hopefully put the rest of them together in the hopes that it turns out okay. So let's make sure he stands properly. It just doesn't feel right sometimes. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so let's plug these hands in. This is his left arm. So left hand, great. And I can't even, yeah, I can't even do that. All right, so let's just pop that in. Oh, that was simple. Okay. Now, will it bend? Not so much. Not so much at all. There you go. That's a little better. But it is popped in there. So let's work with it. Let's work with what he got. And yeah. You know what? Let me do it this way. Maybe that'll make it easier. All right, off camera it is. Yeah, it's definitely much easier when you can press it up against your body and closer up to your body. But there is his one arm. Let's get this other hand on here. See it? You know, at least the hand plugs in very nicely. But the problem is that when you try to bend his wrist, it's gonna pop out. At least it's not too difficult, unlike his legs. All right, so let's see if I can do it this time without having to do it off camera. That's a no. All right, that was much more difficult. Why? Because when you grip here, this hurts your palm, trying to force that arm right in there. Yep, there we go. Okay, now his head. Please, God, let's not make this difficult, because that is a small head and a very small dumbbell joint. Yeah, you're difficult. That is not meant for your fingers to press in. You had to push it in with the base of your palm just so you have enough force to do it. But there you have it. I built Bane. Good Lord. So, right off the bat, love the sculpt. Reason why? Because I love the source material. Greg Capullo's run and Scott Snyder's run on this, I love the story. So this Bane is incredible. The sheer size of it from in action figure form that McFarlane did is great as a sculpt. It looks phenomenal. As a articulated finger, there it is severely lacking, unfortunately. But I mean, that's all because of, I guess this type of plastic, you can't really do anything about it, but it can be difficult. As you can see, there's very, it's just difficult to just, make some movements in his legs, his knees, his elbows, God forbid, because you're really going to have to, oh, well, that elbow's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. The wrists, It's all going to be like that. So there's Bane. I actually, you know, from a sculpt perspective, of course, I definitely like this. And having this whole wave of figures based on The Last Night on Earth, I'm still happy with it. Am I going to go crazy with, you know, significant poses for certain things? Doubt it, because I can't do it. But it will serve its purpose for what I probably will do with pictures. So I'm actually okay. So let's move on to Scarecrow, just because I can attach him to Bane right away. That is huge. It's so heavy. It's extremely heavy, guys. So here's Scarecrow. When I got him, I mean, this is crazy. Like his fingers are very weirdly warped. You can see the curvature and all of that. So there's really no straight lines to it, unfortunately. It can't be, yeah, you can't do much. That's just how it is. When it's completely on Bane, I'm sure it's not going to make a difference, but I mean, what can you do? Everything else on the figure is still pretty good because he's legless. I mean, at least it's thin enough. His limbs are thin enough that you can move his articulation with ease. So that's not bad. This came off very easily from when I took him out of package. It's neat to see though. So you can actually see his face and the detail that they put into it. So it's not bad. This actually comes right off. So it does get put together with these notches right up to here. And this plugs into the back of his, well, it doesn't plug in, but at least it's a space so that way it doesn't maneuver or move around when it's on. He's got this hangman noose around his neck. And of course, on the inside, he's just basically dead. There is this peg right there that's going to go in the back of Bane. So there you have it. There is Scarecrow. We'll just plug that back on so I don't have to worry about it again. There you go. Oh, that's got the rope tucked in there. There we go. So let's plug them in. Okay, so there we have it. I got Scarecrow on there. He is plugged in. It wasn't too bad to plug him in. It's just awkward when, you know, you got the camera in front of you and you can't really hold it properly. So there's Bane with Scarecrow. I wish Scarecrow was more elevated. Let me see. Let me see if I can just lift. Oh, look, see, more weight added to you. So again, I wish Scarecrow was much more elevated. I think it's just about right, but if he was just a little bit more elevated instead of like right behind Bane's head like that, then it could be a little bit better. I wish the thumb was articulated, because just having the 4 fingers right there, the thumb gets in the way to properly place the rest of his fingers on his body. So that's really all you can mess with when you do it. But still, again, we're talking about sculpt here. Sculpt is great. Articulation wise, very lacking, but I mean, when you have them on your shelf, that is quite the showpiece, right? So let's see. So let's take a look at Batman. So this Batman, he's actually in like a straight jacket. He's just completely wearing a straight jacket garb, in which he escaped, and like even his mask, you can see that it's belts. So that's part of the storyline. So I'm not going to really talk about that, but for the figure itself, this is really loose. I mean, it's not too bad, but it helps me easily maneuver him. This one's just right. So he's got butterfly joints, which is, it's not the best butterfly joint, but it does help in maneuvering it better. Um, the belts and everything, kind of just mimicking some sort of cape on the back. Does come with his billy club. You do have to heat up his hands because you will not get anything on him in there. You can't get any accessory for him to hold because these hands are stiff. And that's pretty normal for McFarlane's Multiverse line because they're so stiff that it's going to be extremely difficult for anything to go in any character's hands, because you can see here on the lantern, see that paint rub right there on the handle? It's because I could not get his fingers open to have him hold Joker. And if you didn't know, that is Joker's head right there. Read the story. You will understand why. But everything else, pretty good. This is double jointed, elbows and knees. There is a little stiffness to it, but once you kind of loosen it up, it's very, very easy to maneuver. The ball joints in the feet I don't like very much, just because there's this huge separation gap between that. So it does look funny. But all in all, not a bad Bruce Wayne right there. You're going to fall as long as you're just going to lean over like that. We have Omega. Omega didn't come with accessories, but he did come with 2 extra hands. He came with fisted hands, so it's not bad. But the way this Omega is, I wish he was big, maybe bigger than this Bruce Wayne, because this is Bruce Wayne. Omega is the villain for this storyline, but I love the sculpt and the detail that they made from the comics. So it's really cool. I love seeing that. But for some reason, his hands are just small. They really are. I don't know why we have like a gripping hand, because he's not going to hold anything, but it is what it is. No thigh cut, so it does make it difficult it was making it difficult for me to stand him properly, so that way I can, just stand him properly. But everything looks great from sculpt perspective. Again, with the ball joints, we can't really help that. That is the articulation that this Multiverse line uses. So there is Omega. Let's lower this camera down like I had it before. And then we have Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman actually looks great. I love the sculpt on her. They did a great job rendering her based out of the comic book. She does come with a sword, which I do have right here. It's kind of weird where it's placed because of how long the hilt is. And of course, this sword gets in the way of the cape, so it's really difficult sometimes to maneuver around. The sword is very flimsy. I think it's very similar to that Deathstroke sword. So I guess I'm okay with it as long as you don't, kind of straighten it out a bit. It's perfectly fine. Again, with the hands, extremely stiff. So if you're able to just slide that in, it makes it much, much easier. It was very difficult for Batman with his accessories. So there you have that. The Mohawk's awesome. It really is. I could have probably done without the black shading that they decided to paint onto here, because without it, I mean, it still looks pretty good. But they did a good job with it. I still like the figure. There is no thigh cut, so I was very torn on trying to figure out how to maneuver it, because there is this, that hip, I guess you can call it like a swivel thing, but it's so hard, and that's normal with McFarlane figures. But everything else is pretty fine. This is just weird with what they decided with the pins and the hinge for the gold. But what can you do? So look at that. There's they couldn't use a red pin for that. That's so weird. But yeah, the sculpt is great. Love it. Everything's really good about it. So there you go. There you have it. This is the Last Night on Earth wave for DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys. So there is that. That is all, guys. I'm just happy that I was able to collect this wave, even though it took forever for me to find it. So again, thank you to Arthur and Ryan for picking up 2 of the figures that I was looking for. But this Bane, even though we have very difficult time to build it, heating up the joints and everything just to make sure that they properly fit, I'm still very, very happy that I have this particular Bane figure just because of the source material. If you guys have this set, this wave, this Bane, let me know what you guys think about it. Did you have the same problems I did when I was building it? Because that was a chore. It really was. I'm still in love with the whole sculpt. Everything looks great about it. But there you go. Really do like this. I am happy to have this wave for my collection. It's going to go up with the rest of my Batman verse of McFarlane figures. So thank you guys so much. Just trying something new. It's a whole wave. Figured I want to build it on camera. But make sure you hit the like. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And make sure you subscribe. We are doing a giveaway. So check out that video. Hope you guys have some luck and participate in it. And I greatly appreciate you guys' time in watching the video. I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.